guys, I'm Dr. Chesa DK Adams, and this is Dr. Jason Hope, our orthopedic specialist here at We Are Family Medical JA. And today, we're here to talk to you about
bad posture, aka the slouch.
So we wanted to focus on this topic because we've been seeing that a lot of adolescents have now been diagnosed with stuff like scoliosis
and bad posture contributes to that. And with the whole back to school vibe happening now, back to school brings in those big heavy bags with a whole heap of books and the kids walking around with their back like this. And we want to prevent some of the complications that can happen from that.
I think a solution to that, could be bringing back the suitcase baggies.
Come on. Put the bag and you just pull it and you don't have to carry the weight on your back.
Tell them that we're going to the airport. So, another thing is with working class individuals, we tend to find that because of the long hours, sitting behind a desk, if you have a white collar job, and also persons who are in the trucking industry or drivers that spend a lot of time carrying people around.
And the wheel driving for hours,
and you don't get enough back support. And that ends up affecting you later on because things like what we call arthritis in the spine break it down.
Spondylosis, medical term,
It affects a lot of us. And the older persons, it's kind of uncomfortable when you always have back pain.
And the thing with joints, movement is life for joints. So anytime you find yourself in one position for a prolonged period of time, your joints are crying out to say, move me, your knee, your hip, your back, your neck, your shoulder. So bad posture contributes to that because you find yourself with that device and your neck down and you can have neck pain and all different problems arising from that.
So technically, when we think about like bad posture, so we're gonna do it systematically. We'll start with the adolescents.
Sure.
So we know that we're using a lot more technology in schools.
Yeah.
And how is it that you think that this has affected some of the kids that you've even seen as patients?
Man, definitely. So you can look at it based on the device that is used. So you have the tablet. And with the tablet, the kids typically hold it down in their lap. So that forces them to flex their neck and their heads are down like that for prolonged periods. Or if the desk is not at the appropriate height and they have a laptop device on a desk, the desk being too low or too high causes their neck to be in an abnormal position. So lots of kids would come with neck pain, complaining of stiffness, spasms in the neck. So that's a common reason for them for coming.
And it's so crazy because like even now in our office, like we have a online system that we have to use, and so we ourselves are required to be sitting down. And I have never, I don't know you, but I've never measured what height my desk should be or where my computer should be. I just know that I want to be able to sit and I want my body to feel relaxed.
Yeah.
But I guess from when I was younger, I've trained myself that it doesn't matter where it is, my body will contort to be able to allow me to feel comfortable when I'm doing whatever I'm doing.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of thinking.
I can give you some simple guidelines. So in terms of sitting now, they want your hips to be at 90 degrees, knees at 90 degrees.
Okay.
So you don't want the chair too high or the chair too low, because that's going to cause problems with your hips. And then ideally, ergonomically, your desk should be at the level of your elbows being bent at 90 degrees.
Okay.
And then your screen should be at eye level. So that is a rough guideline, because if the screen is too low, then you have flexion of the neck, etc., etc., etc.
Well, that means I putting you in trouble because I have this tall man beside me and I have a low couch. And look, see, he has to be contorting to fix and talk to me.
Yeah, but you get used to it. Most things aren't designed for us tall people.
Well, that's true. And then now I want to touch on just a little bit adults.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you, someone that works with me, who is our accountant, he does a lot of driving as well because he ended up having 2 jobs. And he's been saying, oh, my back hurting me, my back hurting me. And it don't matter what chair we give him at this point, his back is always hurting him. So what's your advice to those persons who have a job that requires them to always be in a car or vehicle driving?
Yeah. There are a couple of things that you can do. Unfortunately, most men, like when they drive, they drop the seat all the way back and they drive like this. And that is not necessarily the best posture to be in.
Right.
So first, ensure you have the seat appropriately adjusted in terms of the angle.
Okay.
And then you can always add back supports, different things, a cushion, a simple cushion in the lower back to help maintain that curve of your spine, or what we call lordosis of your spine, because that's the natural position where there's less force in the joints in your spine.
You tell me cushion, but then I'm going to ask you what type of cushion. Like, just a random pillow or...
No, man, pillow too thick. So you want something where when you're seated upright, your back adopts a natural curve.
Right.
Any cushion that is able to fill the space between the curve in your back and the back of the seat, that should be sufficient. So nothing too thick, nothing too big, just to fill that little space.
And does it have to be made of a specific something? Because, you know, I love sponge, you know. If you go on the road right now, you want to buy a pillow, them going to bring a sponge pillow
man, that
give
thick
to you.
Sponge. You know, nowadays we have memory foam, which is the ideal thing because it will now naturally contour to your back.
Right.
But even if you don't have that, you don't want that industrial foam that if you step on it, it don't compress. So you want something that is a little bit giving and gives you some give and support. Yeah.
And then now I have to ask about even sleeping. Because you talk about back pain, we're talking about stuff where we're sitting up. But what about at nighttime? Persons, what do they need to be able to support their neck and their head? Yeah, man.
Yeah, that open the can of worms now. Because, yeah, man. So a lot of us, when you wake up in the morning, you hold your neck and then you rub your back because it's difficult to find that correct alignment. So one thing that I would recommend is they usually try to recommend a posture where your spine is in its neutral position. So if you sleep on your side, you need a pillow that will keep your neck perfectly in alignment with the rest of your spine. If you sleep on your back, your spine has three usual curvatures. In your neck, it has a curve where it curves forward. In your chest, it curves backward. And then in your lumbar spine or lower back, it curves forward again. So they call that lordosis, kyphosis, and lordosis again. So when you sleep on your back now, you want to maintain that normal position. So there are these specially designed cushions, pillows that allow your neck to have that normal curvature. And some people even sleep with pillows under their knees to keep them slightly flexed, your hips slightly flexed, because that will help to take pressure off your spine.
And those are some hacks because we already know some of these memory foam beds, they're very expensive. So instead of, well, let me not say that because sometimes you have to invest for yourself, for the future. But in situations where maybe it's outside of your
current pocket budget,
right.
This is a temporary fix.
Yeah. And you can always get pillows, which of course are much more affordable. So you can probably invest in the pillow now and then think about or try saving up
towards that mattress. Yeah.
Right. And same for the truckers. You may not have what you need right now, but you at least we're able to share these things with you so you can start wrapping your mind around it so that you can also invest in that for yourself. So that was our little tidbits.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for joining us during this time, and I hope you're able to learn some stuff.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, Jason.
Anytime.
Appreciate it.